Hello everyone, welcome to 5 Minutes Discovery Channel. In today's video, join me in learning about the richest and most developed country in Northern Europe. This place is also known as a country. Land with a mild climate all year round and beautiful natural scenes spread along the length of the country, said to have massive architecture that is famous in the world and is known as a developed tourist city. That is the classic. Before, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any interesting videos. Sweden is the third largest country in the European Union with a total area of up to 449,964 square kilometers. The longest length from north to south is 1,572 kilometers, from east to west. Sweden borders the Kattegatt Sea, Norway, Finland and the East Sea, Sweden. In addition, there are two large islands, Gotland, 3,000 square kilometers, and Öland, about 1,300 square kilometers, with about 221,800 islands. Along the border with Norway is the Nordic mountain range, Skanden, reaching heights of over 2,000 meters, the highest peak being Kebnekaise, 2,111 meters. Sweden is known as a country with many national parks across the country. Sweden's climate is relatively mild because it is close to the Atlantic Ocean with the warm Gotland current. The climate is largely humid, with lots of rain and relatively little temperature variation between winter and summer. The weather in Sweden is often cold and snowy in winter. This weather is preferred by most tourists for winter sports activities. The average daytime temperature in January is about 0 degrees Celsius in the south, minus 16 degrees Celsius in the north. Summer is the main tourist season in Sweden, usually starting in May and peaking in mid-September, when tourist attractions are also open longer. The average temperature in July is around 17 to 18 degrees Celsius in Gotland, and more than 10 degrees Celsius in the far north of Sweden. In the north the climate is subarctic. Sweden's climate is divided into 4 seasons, but it is difficult to determine them. Summer is from May to August, the night temperature is usually from 12 to 20 degrees Celsius, during the day is about 15 to 25 degrees Celsius. Winter is from November to February, the average temperature is from minus 10 to 5 degrees Celsius and snow often falls throughout the winter. Fall and spring are shorter and often rainy. Capital of Sweden. The capital of Sweden is Stockholm. This is one of the beautiful cities that attracts a large number of tourists around the world. Although it is a modern city, Stockholm still retains its long-standing traditional beauty, especially with many exciting activities that bring people moments of peace, relaxation and fun. The second largest city is Göteborg with a population of about 500,000 people and 900,000 people in the total region. The third largest city is Malmö with a population of about 260,000 people, with 650,000 people in the total region. Swedish economy. The Swedish economy is an advanced, outward-looking mixed economy with a well-developed natural resources industry. The main industries are automobile manufacturing, telecommunications, pharmaceuticals and forestry. Due to its neutrality, Sweden was not devastated by 2 world wars like many other European countries. 2 notable features of the Swedish economy are its economy based on high-tech industries and welfare benefits. Sweden has the second highest proportion of tax revenue in total state budget revenue after Denmark. In 2007, total income taxes equaled 47.8% of GDP, down from 49.1% in 2006. With a knowledge-based economy geared towards high technology and a comprehensive social welfare system, Sweden is one of the countries with the highest living standards in the world. Sweden ranks 7th in the world in terms of GDP, gross product. National product, per capita and its citizens enjoy a very high standard of living. The Swedish economy is export-oriented. Timber, hydropower and iron ore are Sweden's most important resources. Sweden's engineering sector accounts for 50% of output and exports, while the telecommunications, automotive and pharmaceutical industries are also important. Swedish people. According to statistics, about 75% of the population in Sweden follows the Lutheran Church, followed by Islam. There are about 150,000 Roman Catholics and 100,000 Eastern Orthodox. In addition, there are about 23,000 Jehovah's Witnesses, 20,000 Buddhists and about 10,000 Jews. However, statistics show that Sweden is the most atheist country in the world. Today, Sweden is a constitutional monarchy with parliamentary institutions and a developed economy. Swedes are very egalitarian. They are extremely humble and do not like to talk much about themselves. With a soft-spoken voice, it's rare to see a Swede lose their temper or raise their voice in public. Another interesting thing you will notice is that Swedes pay a lot of attention to how they dress. Most people will wear casual clothing, usually consisting of pants, a warm shirt, and a jacket. Even when in private, you can wear simpler clothes, but you still need to do your best to look your best. Education. Sweden has one of the most developed educational systems in the world. Many prestigious universities in Sweden have appeared in world rankings, including Royal Institute of Technology, Stockholm University, Uppsala University. Currently there are about 36,000 international students studying in Sweden, accounting for about 10% of the total student population. Easy visa policy also contributes to attracting a large number of international students to study and work here. Sweden does not force students to blindly obey the orders of adults, but rather encourages them to voluntarily comply with democratic standards of behavior that students themselves participate in establishing, for the common good and justice of the community. People in the community. This requires students to think more creatively, and match the learning preferences of their classmates. After each lesson, students must write down some thoughts about what they thought was true and what they would have to change. It is a practice that teachers guide and remind students to do every day. Students are guided, encouraged to independently develop and implement their own learning plans. Starting from kindergarten with 4-year-olds, every Monday morning, the children sit in a circle with the teacher. Each child will say what they plan to do during the week. The teacher will help them adjust their plans and routines. The day of support makes your work easier to do. On Friday, each child talked about what he had done during the week, self-assessed the level of completion. If it was good, he smiled. If it was not good, he frowned. Sweden becomes the cleanest country in the world. Only 1% of trash is released into the environment. Sweden is one of the world's leading countries in waste treatment and environmental protection today. While waste treatment is a problem in many countries around the world, including developed countries, in this Nordic country, waste treatment is considered an economic industry with the participation of nearly 100 businesses. Public and private. In Malmö, Sweden's third largest city, up to 60% of the electricity consumed and the heat provided for the heating system here are being supplied from a waste recycling plant. Waste management company Sysav is managed by 16 municipalities in southern Sweden, treating waste in the region and also supplying fuel to these municipalities. That effective waste recycling system has helped Sweden become the first country in the world to recycle up to 99% of its waste. Only 1% of garbage from households is discharged into the environment. Only 1% of garbage from households is discharged into the environment. Barges carrying garbage still arrive at Malmö port every week. Garbage comes from England and many other European countries. 55% of burned trash becomes a source of electricity and heating gas. The rest is recycled into new materials or into biofertilizer and biogas. It is the most trash-loving country in Europe. Due to its geographical location, the Swedes use trash as a cheap fuel source instead of gasoline and coal to run thermal power plants, creating heating energy for households in harsh winters. The Swedish government allows. It is known that this country is expected to import about 2.3 million tons of waste in 2020 to continue developing the thermal power and recycling industry. This is understandable because many European countries have very harsh winters and need heat for heating. Swedish language. The main language used in Sweden is Swedish, svenska, which is also used in Finland, with some regions using Finnish and Sami. Swedish is the northern branch of the Germanic language group along with Norwegian and Danish in the Indo-European language family. According to statistics, 80% of Swedes speak English, partly because English is the first foreign language taught in schools, partly because English appears in most television programs. The second foreign language that is widely used in Sweden is German. This was the first foreign language in Sweden until 1950, but recently Spanish has been popular and surpassed German at many training schools. Create. How do you feel? Please comment below to let us know. This is the end of the video. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel to watch the next videos. I am 5 Minutes Discovery.